bro. We don't need
We
the
know,
clap.
we know. We know, I
Do
know.
the clap. Click.
Take one.
Take one. There we go.
Yardman Podcast are the one.
Boom.
Yardman Podcast are the one. Yardman Podcast are the one. Yardman Podcast are the one. The Yardman Podcast. Tell about the Yardman Podcast. Yardman Podcast. Tell about the Yardman Podcast.
Boom. Welcome back to the number
Boom.
one Jamaican podcast in Murcia, Spain.
Number one Jamaican podcast in Europe.
And we're going for the world, and we're back again. And you got intro live today, and we
Wow.
have another face here. Not a yard man, but an American man, a Mexican man,
Yeah.
all-in-one man, a family man, a business man. You
Yes,
know?
a vlog man.
Yeah, man, a vlog man.
Let's go.
Everything, man. We have Sway Vlog, Sway Lifestyle in the building or online. The yard man.
Yeah, show him some
Appreciate
love.
it.
Show him some love.
Technology.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys having.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
happy
yeah.
to be here. Hola a todos.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Say hi to
Todos y
everybody.
todos y todes.
There we go. You got to add the last part in. Todos.
Vale. So tonight, while you're having that cup of beer or you're doing the pre's and you're watching us before you go out, if you're in Spain, we know you're going out tonight. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Friday night.
It's
Where-
Friday night, bro. Even in the States, if it's Friday night, you're going out.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
Unless you have to work.
yeah. So thank you guys that don't have anything better to do tonight. Don't have a date. Don't have a wife. Don't have a girlfriend, but you have time to listen to us. I appreciate you. You are true with us tonight because you get to listen to us. You get to learn about what it is like to live in Spain. And before
Yeah.
we get into the meat of the matter, we like to cover the current affairs first when we go live because normally we pre-record, so we don't get the chance to live for the current affairs at all. And today we
Let's tackle
chose
some current affairs.
current affairs. First things first. P. Diddy, Puff, Love,
Puff,
Daddy.
Daddy.
Guilty or innocent? What do you guys?
The rabbit hole just gets deeper every day.
Man, I mean, there's if you don't go on the Twitter and search P Diddy. Don't,
No.
because there's so many videos, so many things. It's like just save yourself.
I love the meme. P. Diddy is the first black man that no black people are on his side. Even OJ had half of the black population on his side.
Of course, yeah.
R.
yeah.
Kelly had the black population on his side.
Bill
one-
Cosby,
Bill
Yeah,
Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson when he
P. Diddy is the only man that I don't see anyone coming out in support and saying he's innocent.
And you know, I kind of feel like that is saying something.
It's saying they
I
all
feel like
knew.
that's saying something.
It's saying they all knew. That's what it's saying. I feel like they're all culpable. You know what
Could
I'm
be.
saying?
But who's the judge? Who's the judge? Who's the actual judge?
We'll find out. We'll find out in a few months. We'll find out.
I
in a few
heard
months.
I've heard so many things about why he might be indicted now. Because tell me if I'm right. They said that he won't be getting bail, right?
They denied him $50 million bail, I think.
Look at $50 million. Look at that. Why?
Yeah.
I think because this man, he loves to use a camera, he loves to record and all of these things. You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think he has videos of very important people very high up, and they want to get these videos out of existence right now. So they're not giving him any leeway to even be free for 5 seconds.
I mean, keep in mind that in some of the parties that he did before, Donald Trump was part of those parties.
Look at this.
Donald Trump is immune.
Hey,
This is the
And
man
all of a
that-
sudden, Donald Trump is running for president, and P Diddy gets arrested. Conspiracy.
But
yeah, man.
I think Trump was also in on the Epstein thing as well. You
Yeah.
know? I think he had something to do with it. But that brings my
No, but
I was gonna say that
Sorry,
brings my
continue.
moral dilemma for today. Would you
For who?
rather moral dilemma for both of you today. Would you have rather gone to
Yeah.
Epstein Island or go
Definitely.
to Diddy's freak off party?
Definitely.
Which one would you
I've-
choose?
I would have gone to Michael Jackson's Neverland.
Yeah,
Oh,
better there than any of those two places.
you're too old. You're too old. The age limit. Neverland is for 12 and under. You're too old.
That's for the Catholic Church. That's not for Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
But seriously, which one would you pick? If you had to pick one, Epstein's Island or Diddy's freak off parties?
Davian.
Oh man, I don't know.
Those are two places where I just don't see myself, dog.
Yeah, but you have
I
to
don't
pick
see
one.
myself on Epstein's Island doing what? And I don't see myself in P. Diddy's party.
Let's change up the question a little bit.
Yeah.
If they told you, yeah, man, we're gonna take you high, but you gotta come to the party, then what? Then what? Look at me.
What kind of party is it?
What kind of party this?
Apparently,
The P. Diddy party, right?
You can go in the party. You just don't leave the main area, or you wait until a certain time and you leave early.
Yeah.
If that's even possible.
I heard a security guard say that like they would spike all the drinks, even if you were not aware of the drinks. Like even if for 1 second you turn around, boom, spike. There was like you couldn't save yourself. Like there was always something going on. That's what I heard from a security guard that was posting videos on Twitter. He was saying that everybody's drink was always spiked. Something was going on. So.
But that means if everybody's drink is being spiked and you keep going back, you're just as guilty. Guilty because
the party nice, Davy, and the party is nice. I guess even if you try to get a bottle of water, this bottle of water might have something in it. They want everybody to be on the same frequency level when they're partying there.
You heard big stars like LeBron James say there's no party like a Diddy party. I mean,
I've heard
real.
this.
Yeah. LeBron said it. He said it.
Speaking of the celebrities, then I feel like Diddy has a list because this is a court case. He will have a list because parties have guest lists. Which celebrities do you think are like shitting themselves right now, wondering when Diddy's list get released? I'll be on that list of the freak out party.
I mean, I said LeBron. LeBron's already there, and all the rappers. All the rappers, all the rappers. J. Cole, like all the rappers and stuff.
Yeah.
Even Drake. Drake is gonna come out there, and after Drake comes out on that list, Kendrick Lamar is gonna be making another song.
Unless
they not like us part 2.
Yeah. What?
But Tony, which Jamaicans do you think are on the list? Any Jamaicans?
All right, let me tell you. Elephant Man, maybe. Beanie Man.
Shizzle Man, Nizzle.
Bounty Killer, maybe.
By the way, I say
Sean Paul.
Shaggy.
All of the big ones.
Shaggy for
is
sure.
There. Yeah, man. Those are all I can think about right now.
Might be on the list.
Because I'm thinking about Jamaican artists who had success from between 2000 to like 2007.
Yeah, early 2000.
Yeah. Early, yeah.
But I don't think in that period he has at the same level of power. Most of his power, I would say, come after 2010, 2014, the last 10 years.
He still used to have the parties. He's been having these parties.
Yeah, but we don't know when the party started. Because if the party started younger, he had like Usher living at his house as a 16-year-old, as a kid, Justin
Bieber too. Yeah. Well, somebody asked, which singer do you hope is not on the list?
Do I hope he's not on the list?
Yeah.
To be honest, I hope all of them is on the list. I'm here for the drama. I want everyone on the list, and I want them to upload the entire catalog.
I just hope that like they don't come up with a list like like big names for like Michael Jackson maybe, because like Michael Jackson used to
Michael Jackson has his own list.
Yeah.
Watch list.
No, that means stop throwing dirt on Michael's name, please.
Oh man.
As I said, Michael, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, those are the few that black people actually support, and I don't see any black people coming out to support Diddy. None.
No.
Diddy is the first rich man that's guilty.
Well, I mean, if you think back in time, like back when Notorious B.I.G. got killed, everybody blamed P Diddy that he has something to do with it,
Yeah,
and that ever since then, people were like, "Yo, that P Diddy
yeah,
dude." All of a sudden, B.I.G. died, and he just rose to fame. Like something iffy about that. You know what I mean?
you know,
He man Suge Knight.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Suge Knight did an interview recently, and he was saying like people knew all of this was going on. Diddy is no innocent person or anything like that, and that's from Suge Knight behind
Kanye
bars.
West said it.
Yeah,
Kanye West said it. And people were like, "Oh, you crazy, you crazy," and Kanye West was like, "Yo, I
yeah.
told you guys. I
You
told you guys from a while back."
you
I
know
guess
what's
this
fun?
is an open secret.
Exactly.
Open
Nobody had a
secret, yeah.
problem with it because they were all making money and rising to the
Yeah.
top. So everybody
Okay.
was. We
Hush
know what Diddy
hush.
parties are, and you know when to go, and you know that you need to lube up.
Baby oil, baby oil,
Baby
baby oil.
oil.
Aye.
You guys seen those memes? You guys have those memes on TikTok right now where people go to the store and they look at the baby oil and they pick it up and they're like, and they see P Diddy in the background and they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnson and Johnson sales gone skyrocket. Skyrocket.
It's true. That's true. Yeah.
Skyrocket for
You
that
know,
durable.
I don't even feel like Diddy actually knew what happened at his party some of the time, because there was this
No,
interview
no,
on
no, don't.
the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Wait. There was this interview on the Breakfast Club where Charlemagne, he played a voice note for P Diddy from one of his parties, and P
Yeah.
Diddy was like, "When did this happen? Like, when did this actually happen?" With him actually saying something to somebody.
No. The thing is, Diddy wanted to be the man to facilitate things. He's the facilitator. He
Yeah.
creates the room. In this room, we have the orgies. In this room, we have the goats and the sheep for those kinds of guys. In this
My
room, we
God.
have we have this. That he facilitated. He's a facilitator. He's an
He's
industry
he's
man.
he's like the old school MTV show, like, "Hey, welcome to my crib," and he starts showing
Exactly.
everybody the rooms.
Because
Yo.
everyone can. You know why people also aren't a fan of Diddy? Diddy's like a man that got rich of other people's talent. People don't really like people like that. It's like
Yeah.
it's like he's
True.
successful, but we don't really like him because why is he successful? Like, he made a few good beats, but outside of that, why is he this successful?
But Davian, if you say that now about P Diddy, you can say the same thing about, for example, Jennifer Lopez.
Oh yeah, Jennifer
You know how
Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez started?
Jennifer Lopez is riding looks, bro. That's pretty privilege all the way.
You know, she used to lip sing other artists' song.
Yeah,
Like
what's
they,
her name?
like this.
Selena.
Selena,
Yeah, for
yes.
example.
She did the
Bro,
movie.
she skyrocketed to fame because of the Selena movie.
Yeah.
And then she started like doing her own little tour, and in the little tours that she was making, she was lip singing the Selena songs, and people were like, like, you're straight up, that's not the right way to do it. And then
Yeah.
eventually she made Jenny from the Block and a bunch of other songs that skyrocketed her to fame. But the number one thing that brought her to fame was Selena.
Yeah. But she was a plant. She's a plant, and
Definitely a plan. Definitely.
she is skilled at using men.
She is the Elizabeth Taylor of the Hispanic community.
Yeah.
You know who
She-
Elizabeth Taylor is, right? Elizabeth Taylor had like countless of husbands,
Mhm.
and Jennifer Lopez is going the same
Yeah.
way.
Whenever she falls off, she just goes back to poor old Ben. Poor old Ben so in love with her, he can't
Ben
say no.
Stiller?
Affleck.
Ben
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck, yeah.
Ben
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck.
Yeah.
He just
Now,
can't say
now
no
she's
to him.
now she's back. Now she's back with Alex Rodriguez, the
After
baseball
Ben,
player.
No. She left Ben and went back to
Yeah. From what I saw on the news, like from stuff like that, like online, like I don't know if it's true or not, but they saw her with Alex Rodriguez, like just after her breaking up with Ben Affleck. But
when it's good, it's good. That's all I can say. When it's good, it's good.
oh man,
I can't believe. So she goes back. She went back to this one, and then she goes back to another one. I know she's probably gonna go back to the previous one.
Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony, yeah.
No, Mark, don't do it, Mark. Don't do it, Mark. Mark, stay
Did you
away.
About Mark Anthony, did you guys see the video that this guy's got remarried like 3 or 4 times, and every single time he's got married, he cries like it was his first time. He's just there by the altar, like crying when he sees the wife. I'm like, bro, this is like your fifth marriage. You're like, what are you crying about?
You know what, Sway? Some people love more than
Yeah,
others. Some people, some
yeah.
people believe in love. Some people love more than others. I'm definitely gonna cry at my wedding. I've not cried in a long time. I'm saving all the tears for my wedding. So I trust me. I believe he will do it. All my 5 weddings, I'm gonna cry at each of them.
Oh
All
man.
right, all right. I think that's enough bullshitting around. let's get to the reason why we're here, because we all love Spain so much. I think 66% of us love Spain in this chat.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
66%.
66%.
66.
2 out of 3. 66 and 2/3.
That's right.
Love
That's
Spain.
right.
Love Spain.
Yes.
But Sway, the people that normally tune in, they know a lot about me and Tonniel. Intimate stuff, private stuff. We just chat all on this freaking podcast.
Oh man.
I want to know firstly, tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Spain. Like, what drew you here?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm originally from Mexico. That's where I was born. But I was just born there, and then when I was a little kid, I moved to Guatemala because my dad's from Guatemala, and then eventually, like at I think I was like 6 or 7 years old, I ended up moving to the United States, to Los Angeles and stuff. Like the typical Hispanic dream, chasing the American dream, trying to get out of their countries and trying to get better themselves for their kids. So fast forward to 2017. I was married already. My wife and I we married since 2013, and she's the only child of a Galician man here. Her dad's from Galicia, and she has a friend who lives here actually here in Galicia, and we'll call her up and say, "Hey, your dad is not doing so good. I think he's sick." And so she ended up eventually finding out that her dad had dementia, and he was losing his mind, and he was like forgetting things and whatnot, and to the point where like her friends would be like, "Yo, we found your dad like literally sleeping on the bench, like something's wrong with him." And she felt really bad because she was the only daughter and she wanted to take care of her dad, and so the original plan was come to Spain and take her dad back to the United States. But you already know, just like Spain, the U.S. in the bureaucracy system and the legal system,
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, no, we're not going to give him a visa. He's sick, and he's going to come to this country and leech off the country and whatnot." And so ended up staying here. And what was supposed to be a 1 year stay is now 7 years down the road, going on 8.
Wow. Wow, and you're still here, so that means you must like Spain. What's your overall impression of Spain? Like, you're still here almost 8 years afterwards.
Well,
why are you still here?
I'll put it this way. Like
What's
for me,
keeping you here?
yeah, for me, Spain is like the Clint Eastwood movie, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay.
Okay. Like so, like you have good moments. They're like, yeah, Spain, I love it. And then you have moments where you're like, bro, why am I still here in Spain? And then there's some moments where I'm like, I want to get the hell out. Like, where's the next plane? I'm out. Like, this is things that I've experienced here that makes you just a lot of culture shocks. I mean, all my life I lived in the U.S.
Mhm.
I grew up in that system. I grew up in that culture.
Yeah.
I grew up in that lifestyle. And then like coming to Spain and then finding out about how things work here, it's hard, and that's why I always tell my viewers on like YouTube, I say, before you come to Spain, do your research, because I didn't do it.
Very important.
I came blindfolded.
How does the lifestyle compare? Like, what's the if you could put it in like 3 differences, what's the main 3 differences that makes you skeptical about living in Spain?
I mean, the differences between like the U.S. and Spain lifestyle is like, here's more laid back, here's more chill, here's more like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. There's no rush.
And the no pasa nada culture.
Exactly. No pasa nada culture, or the uno más paper. Like, oh, you came to the office, te falta uno más, one more paper for this. Like, bro, like
Shit.
that's the culture. And then the culture of like, we'll get this done when we get it done. And in the U.S. is like, for example, like this is something that happened to us before we came from the U.S. We were coming here on March 2017. And on February, we went to get my little boy's passport because they didn't have a passport. And the lady looks at us and goes, "You're going to have to wait about 3 to 6 weeks to get your passport." And I said, well, we really can't wait. We bought the ticket and stuff. You have to leave on March 2nd. And so if we have to wait those 6 weeks, it's going to be past March 2nd. I won't be able to go. She goes, well, I don't know if that happens now, but back in the day it was, she said, well, if you pay this much more, you can have it in 72 hours. And I
Like
said,
an express service.
exactly. And I said,
Mm.
I'll pay it. And here
Was
in
that?
Spain, there's no such thing.
Oh, okay. No such
Yeah,
thing, but that,
yeah.
but wouldn't you say like if they are able to process in 72 hours, that wouldn't that be better? Like, wouldn't it be better in Spain? They just have a standard thing, so you know ahead that it will be 10 days, it will be 2 months,
But the
compared to.
thing is that there's no such thing here in Spain.
Oh,
You,
okay.
like in Spain, we waited for a year to get our kids citizenship. And when we went to the office to pick it up, and
Mhm.
we were like, "Hey, bro, you know what? We were waiting for a year for the citizenship." The gentleman literally got up from his desk, walked to the back, and he goes, "Oh, it's here. It's been sitting here for a couple months now." And I'm like, "But why didn't you call us?" Like, oh, it's like
No.
because of that mentality of like, no pasa nada.
Hold
We'll
on,
do it
hold on.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
whatever.
So the kids would had to apply for citizenship, even though their mom's Spanish. They couldn't just get a Spanish passport, and that would be it.
No, you have to apply for citizenship even though the mom is Spanish. And for example, I had to apply for Spanish citizenship, which is another hilarious story when it comes to like being a Spanish citizen here in Spain.
Mhm.
So let me ask you guys something. Like if you go to a country, right? Like if I go to Jamaica or stuff like that, and I want to be a citizen, right?
Yeah.
I have to go apply, and they're going to ask me, "Where are you coming from?" And I'm gonna say, "I'm coming from Spain." And they're going to be like, "Okay, man. Well, we need your criminal records from Spain to know what kind of person we're letting
I know
into
where
our
you're
country."
going. I know where you're going.
Right? And
Yeah.
so I come to Spain, and I'm applying for the citizenship, and the lady looks at me and she goes, "Well, you need your criminal record from país de origen, from your birth country."
Oh, my brother.
And I'm
Yep.
like, "Bro, I have not lived in that country since I was like 3 or 4 years old. I have
Yes.
no school records. I have no criminal records. There's
Whoa.
there's no ID for me. The only thing I have is my birth certificate, and that's it." And she looks at me and she goes, "It's the law, it's the protocols. We have to, do that." And I'm like, "What am I supposed to do?" And she goes, "Well, you're gonna have to end up going to Mexico and getting the criminal records from over there, or having somebody from there send them to you." And I looked at her and like, I kid you not, I told her this. I said, "Look, ma'am, don't take this the wrong way, but I could have been a rapist. I could have been a narc. I could have been a drug dealer in the US, and you don't care about that? You care more about what happened when I was 3 years old
Exactly.
in Mexico?" And she goes, "That's the law. That's how things work here." I'm
Oh,
like, "Bro, like."
my God.
The law is the law, though. The law is
The
the
law is the
law.
law.
The law is the law. The law is the
I'm like,
law.
I'm like this. I'm like, I saved myself from all those criminal records. I ain't got none though, but just in case.
You can confess here. It's a safe space. YouTube is a safe space. Okay. All right. So you're a citizen now. So you're not just
Yeah.
like me and Tonniel that are just residents here working. You are a full-fledged
Yeah,
citizen. All right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
another thing that I think about when moving to another country is the healthcare system. How does the healthcare system in Spain compare to that of America, and which do you prefer?
I'll be honest with you guys. The healthcare system here in Spain is amazing because it's free. Like people say, you come. I mean, it's true. Like if I feel sick, like right now, if I feel really bad, I'll run over to the ER, and they'll help me and they'll attend to me, and I don't have to worry that in a week from now I'll get a bill. It's paid
Okay.
for. I'll get you. The only bad thing and the only thing I have against the medical system is how slow they are. For example, like two years ago, I was diagnosed with kidney stones. 2 years ago.
Oh, painful.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And I went to the doctor and I said, "Hey, I went to the ER because I couldn't handle the pain and blah blah blah." And he goes, "I'm gonna send you to a specialist." And I'm like, "All right, cool." But they're gonna have to call you to do the specialist appointment. I said, "All right, cool." The lady calls me 2 days later. "Hey, can we put you on the list?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "Well, the next appointment available for you is 9 months down the road."
Mm.
And
Yeah,
I'm
what?
over here. I'm like,
for kidney
You have to suffer
stones.
for 9 months
yeah.
for
And so
kidney
and so at
stones.
this
Yeah.
so at this point, I'm like, I had to go to a private doctor and pay out of my pocket for the private doctor and the private practice and to get looked at and everything. So at the end of the day, there was no free healthcare. I had to
Okay.
pay it out of my pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Mm.
how? But if it was an emergency, they would have taken care. If you were,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, they would have taken care of you right
yeah,
Or
yeah,
if
away.
you
yeah,
had
yeah.
a broken leg
Yeah,
or
so
an extremely
that's the
sick.
difference. Like if it's an emergency, they take care of you right away. There's
Mhm.
even if I remember we first got here to Spain. and this was March or April, and the weather here gets really cold during those months. And my boy got sick, also like climate change from the U.S. to here and stuff. And we went to the ER, and the lady was like, "You have a passport? You have?" I said, "We have the U.S. passport, and that's it. We don't have anything else." And she goes, "Well, we'll have it looked at. And at the moment, since you have no residency here, since you have nothing here, there is going to be a bill sent to you. But as soon as you become a resident here, or as soon as you get your citizenship here, if it's in the next 3 months or something like that, you don't have to worry about the bill.
That's
Just
good. That's good.
forget about it instead."
So a good advice would be take advantage of the public healthcare system here, but also get some private insurance as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you have private insurance now, or
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do have private insurance.
How is the cost compared to that of the American private insurance costs?
Man, mine is copay, so like I have to pay some of it. When I go, for example, I went to get my kidney stones checked. I think it was like 3 months ago, and I paid €30 to get the appointment to be seen, and then I had like an ultrasound kind of thing done to me. And I was like, I was sweating. I was like, man, it's gonna be like $200, paying for this. And I come up to the counter, and there he goes, €30. I'm like, that was an ultrasound you guys did, like 30 bucks. Yeah, the insurance covers everything else. You just pay $30. I'm like,
okay. So I don't know if you're keeping score, but that's a W for Spain in the column.
yeah.
So if you're an international coming here, you get the public health insurance for the big things, and you pay a little for your private insurance and your copay. And I'm guessing your monthly premium is not that much, right?
No,
it's reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I don't know top of the head because my wife is the one that takes care of all that stuff. But I know it's doable. Like, I mean, it's reasonable. I mean, I always say, get yourself the private insurance, just because you never know what's going to happen. Or if you need to see a specialist, you need to go the private law. I mean, the private law, the private sector instead of the public one, because the public one takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like I tore my quadricep muscle 3 years ago on October, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me, you're gonna have to go home and rest, and you're gonna have to have like an ultrasound done to your leg, but I'm gonna give you some painkillers. I said, okay, cool. And they're gonna call you from the specialist to see what's going on. And I was like, okay, cool. I couldn't wait. So because the pain was too much, I went to a private doctor. They see me. They did all the stuff they need to do, and it literally, that was October of 2022. April 2023, a nurse calls me. He goes, "Hey, Mr. Sway, we have an appointment for you for your quadricep." I'm like, "Lady,
it's been fixed. It's been fixed. It's been fixed. It's been fixed. All right. So Spain is winning when it comes to healthcare. It might not be the fastest in the public, but at least you won't be denied, and you will get some care if it's emergency. And the cost of health insurance is reasonably priced as well. So with that being said, how do you think the healthcare system affects the society on a whole? Like, do you think the people in Spain are healthier than Americans?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you got to keep in mind also, like, when it comes to not just the healthcare system, but like food wise, I feel like food is more organic here in Spain than it is in the US.
It's more regulated.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's things you can buy here that you wouldn't. That in the US, everything is allowed. And there's a lot of things that get imported here that don't make it past customs because they have red 5s or yellow or whatever, something like that, and they won't allow it here because they don't pass the regulations. So it's a lot regulated here compared to the US.
Okay. All you have to do is look at a bottle of Heinz ketchup here in Spain and look at the same bottle of Heinz ketchup in the US, and you'll see a ton of products more than that you would see in Spain. Spain has what? Vinegar, salt, tomato sauce, and maybe 2 other things. The American labels, they have like 15 things.
Oh yeah, and things you can't even pronounce. You're like, exactly. How do you pronounce this word? Like, what? If I teach me that in English class.
Usually, if I can't pronounce it, I try to leave it alone. Honestly,
that's a good way, bro. If you can't pronounce it, leave it. It's not for you.
I just leave it alone.
It's not for you.
Yeah. 10 syllables. 10 syllables.
No,
don't do it.
Hexamina fina, huh?
You're like, what?
All right.
Isn't that the drug? Isn't this a drug in San Francisco? Like,
it's a new hit drug. All right. So wait, you have kids here, and they're going through the education system. Another big talking point is the difference between the education systems in America and Spain. Where do you stand on that? Who gets the win
I
in this column?
the Spain for sure, man. I
Yeah.
mean, just I mean, not just education itself, but the safety that my kids have in school, where I don't have to worry that some crazy man is gonna come with a gun and shoot my kids in school. That right
Mhm.
there is a winning point for me.
True.
Because I
True,
mean,
true.
it's sad to say it. Like, you see all these mass school shootings in the U.S. Like, a couple years ago, the whole Sandy Hook thing that happened with the young kids, with the pre-K and first graders. And I mean, it's just like the fact that I can take my kid to school and he goes to school and he's learning different things, but he also has that safety. That's a win for me.
Yeah.
That's a win.
What about the cost?
I have a
I,
follow-up question.
yeah.
Like, your kids, do they come home like telling you things about like school, as in like what happens there, if they feel, a bit different there, for example?
Yeah, they do, but I think it also has to do with like how you, I guess, how you teach them or how you raise, how you raise them. I always tell my kids, like, hey, be honest with me. Like, I always tell my kids, daddy's here to protect you. Anything that
Mm.
happens in school, whatever it is, you are not protecting them. You protect yourself. And if something bad happened in school, you tell Papi, and Papi's gonna take care of it. If you feel like you can't take care of it, I'm here to take care of it. And and like, for example, I mean, it's just a long story, but my boy's having an issue right now with the teacher.
Yeah.
We think the teacher is a little bit racist, and we're working on that right now. But he
Mm.
comes home and tells me these things, and so I tell him, look, if you feel pressure, if you feel like you feel uncomfortable, you come and tell Papi, what's bothering
Of
you,
course, yeah.
and I will take care of you. But yeah, they come home and tell me like, oh, I heard about this, or I saw so and so did this, and they
And
also come telling me about like what they learn in school and stuff. So that's cool.
so
Okay.
so how do you like protect them? Like, how do you build them with such a strong armor? For example, that if kids were to come to them to say things to them, it would just bounce off, or they know how to handle themselves with
To be
certain
honest,
things.
that's a good question, man. To be honest with you, I grew up in a country, the U.S., where racism is every single day bred. Every single
Mm.
day is. When I lived in Los Angeles, it was okay because there was a lot of cultures.
A lot of
African
diversity, yeah.
Americans, yeah, a lot of diversity. So it was awesome. But then my parents moved us to the Northwest, which is Oregon. It's the Northwest.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds
and
white.
yeah, and back in the 50s and the 60s,
Yeah.
Oregon was actually like the center or the congregating center of the Ku Klux Klan, of the KKK of the Northwest. Yeah, so it was pretty like white. And when we moved to this town called Harrisburg, we were the only Latino, the only Hispanic family
Wow.
Humbuckler.
on the
Danger,
little
danger,
town.
danger,
Danger.
danger,
I
danger.
it,
Red flag,
it's
red flag.
it,
White
it
flag,
sounds
white, white flag, white flag.
the little pointy hat.
Yeah, you
like
can't buy a bag of flour.
like it sounds like it sounds out of a movie and stuff. But we
Yeah.
will have the sheriff like go around to where we live, or like even kind of like follow us as we were walking to school because they wanted to see like what we were up to, like the movies you see. And so me growing up in that environment made me build up this armor of like, you can't tell me, I don't care about your opinion. Whatever's you were, tell me, I'm going to prove to you otherwise. Because
Okay.
I had teachers tell me, oh, you're going to end up flipping burgers for the rest of your life, or you're going to end up working
Ah.
at a field. and so
Oh,
and so
teachers
I
like that.
exactly. And so I would tell the teachers, you know what, watch me. In the future, I'm going to be married, I'm going to have kids, I'm going to be traveling over the world, and you're still going to be here teaching. And it came to happen. I've been traveling, they're still teaching, I have
I
kids.
hope, I hope
So
they
I,
didn't see you.
so
Yeah.
I try to like teach them that, hey, puppy, you know what? Don't worry about people's opinion. They're gonna tell you things out in through
Yeah,
one
man.
ear, out through the other, man. And just don't even worry about it, and
I,
prove
I,
to them that you're better than that.
I believe
Uh,
in that. Enlightening the kids so that nobody can go outside and try to teach them anything.
Yeah,
yeah.
yep.
So
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
overall, you'd say it's better to raise your kids in Spain, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, education, safety, and the fact that they can enjoy their childhood here in Spain more than they can in the U.S. Like
Mm.
here, I don't know I don't know down in Murcia and stuff, but there's more pasatiempos, there's more playgrounds than there is malls and shopping centers in cities, and that's what one of the great things about like Spain.
True.
Like every single corner you go to, there's a
There's a
plaza.
playground, yeah.
Yeah, it's a playground. There's a pista for football. So there's always something that they can enjoy as kids. While in the States, that's kind of like, getting out of hand. There's just no more like parks like the kids can go actually and play.
Mm-hmm.
And if they go out and play, it's always crowded by junkies. People that are shooting up
Mm.
drugs and stuff, and
Oh God.
it's worse.
Okay. All right. I'm happy that your kids are happy here, bro. Like, cause
True, true,
I
true.
live here now, so eventually I'll probably get to the pollination stage of my life and start to procreate.
Yeah, we have to
S-
start thinking about all of these things.
Yeah, especially raising like a as you said, a black child here. Even
Yeah.
if I get with a white woman, the kid will probably present as black, nonetheless.
I mean, my boys are Spanish citizens. Their mom has Galician blood, Spanish blood, and they've even had to deal with sometimes like when one of my kid came over and said, "Hey, puppy, what's an immigrant?" And I said, "Why are you asking? Why'd you ask me what's an immigrant?"
Exactly.
And he goes, "Because one of the kids in school told me that I'm an immigrant." And I said, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, like." And so I told him, look, you're an immigrant means that you're not born from here. You come here and you come live here, and that's all it is. That's like if we move to South Africa, if we move to somewhere else, we're gonna be immigrants there because that's not our main country. And so I mean everybody in the world's an immigrant because nobody's really from one place itself,
Exactly.
And he was like, okay, puppy, I get it.
That's good, man. That's good, man.
Good.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
happy.
taking notes.
Yeah, Tony, take
For real, for real.
notes. Take notes. This is how you raise your kids up here in Spain. Take notes, because that's one thing I feel like every parent will struggle with. Like, how do you have those
Of course.
conversations with your kids? Because it's such a complex issue, and you're explaining it to someone that's like, I'm guessing your kids are what, under 10 years old, 10, 11, 12, right?
No, one of them is 11. She's just turned 11 last week,
Mm.
and the other one's 8.
So explain it to a kid. Like, how do you look at a kid and explain it to them? Especially since me and Tonniel, we come from Jamaica. We don't really experience racism per se. Like, it's a different concept for us. So no one's gonna look at us and tell us like, because you're black, you don't look like you're from Jamaica. So we never feel like we were in a country and other people made us feel like we're out of place. So I'm thinking, how will I explain this to my kid? Especially since I've never had that experience. I've had the experience of
Talk for
colorism.
yourself.
Eh?
Talk for yourself.
I mean, I've never had the experience in Jamaica feeling out of place or someone saying that to me. Like someone saying that, oh,
I have.
Yeah? How so?
Rasta.
No, but that's
I'm a Rasta.
But not based on your color. That's based on your religion.
Yeah.
That's not based on your color. That's based on your religion, bro.
I get where you're going because your color is not something that you can change. My hair, I can cut my hair off and I'm like,
Exactly.
All right, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
You see, there's no way my kid can escape the color. Like, no matter what, even if they live all the way up in Galicia where they don't get a lot of sunlight, they'll still they're still gonna have the color. So it's for me, it's one of the things that I think about if I start a family here. But it's good to know that there are ways around it and to see someone actually happy to raise your kids here as well. But now that you have a family here, taking care of a family in Spain, that's a family of 4 that you mentioned. Your wife, 2 kids. How is that, the cost of living for you compared to America? How do you juggle all of that? Because to me and Tony, we did an episode that's coming out in like a couple weeks. And one of the main things that are preventing people from having kids is the financial strain. Like, how do you handle that? How does it cost of living?
More expensive?
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way. I think the cost of living is going up like significantly in the last couple of years here, even here in Spain, because when I moved back in 2017, I'm looking at like my receipts when I used to buy food back in 2017 before COVID to after COVID, and things have gone up in price tremendously, man. Like,
look at the olive oil. Look at the olive oil.
oh yeah, exactly.
Olive oil
used
is
to
the
be.
indicator. Olive oil in Spain is the major indicator of
Yeah, I tell
inflation.
you.
Olive
Olive oil.
oil is the main indicator of inflation in
Yes, it
Spain.
is, man.
When you
Yes,
go
it
to
is.
that store and the olive oil put on 2 cents, you sit up,
Yeah,
you feel every cent
yeah.
for the olive oil. Not the
Yeah, I
chicken,
mean,
not the
yeah,
produce, the olive oil.
we used to buy a liter of milk for like, for 67, 87 cents, and now we buy a liter of milk and it's €1 27, €1 49, 2.18, and it's like, bro, like, you can see it going on. But like you were saying, how do we make it? Like, we make our money, like, we're digital nomads. We do digital marketing and
Mhm.
work social media and have digital products. And but I mean, aside from that, we have our own business. But we used to work. We used to work here in Spain, and I must say it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life.
Yeah?
Working for a
Working.
Spanish company was one of the worst experience I've ever had. And look, that's saying a lot because I grew up in the States and I worked in the United States, different jobs. And even still then, I will go back gladly to any of those jobs I had in the United States than going back to work for a company in Spain.
Really?
Like,
How come? Because in the United States, you're not entitled to vacation days. You're not entitled to certain benefits that you'd get here in Spain. Like, you could literally get apparel just going to a job
yeah.
in Spain and saying, "Oh, I feel depressed, I feel burnt out," and you get 6
That's
months
what I'm
off
saying.
with therapy. You get 6
Months
months
off
off
with
on therapy.
therapy.
So
Yeah,
why
that's
isn't that
that's
better?
that's the good part. Like, now, like 3 4 years after I was living here in Spain, I found out about the whole medical leave and stuff like that, because I was just like, hey, like, how come you're not working? Oh, I'm on medical leave. And I'm like, bro, like, you chugging down beers over here. Like, what do you mean on medical leave? Like, what you talking about? Like, what's going on with
It's
this
up
medical
here.
leave?
It's up here.
Yeah. And he's like, no, it's because I feel depressed. I'm like, I don't see you depressed chugging down them beers, like, so. And so, like, I didn't find out about it until later. But the thing is, like, before, I used to work, and this is the thing about, like, when it comes to, like, working in Spain compared to the US. Here in Spain, you go to a company and they give you a position,
Okay.
and you hold on to that position until you retire.
True. Very true.
Yeah, okay, and in US is, you start working at a position, like, when I was working in the US, before I came to Spain, I was a supervisor at a JP Morgan Chase Bank, and I started as a bank teller, the lowest position.
Yeah.
Just changing money and checks, and, hey, welcome. How can I help you with your account? And then I succeeded into achieving all my quotas and my goals and stuff like that. That my boss came over and said, we like how you work, and we have a banker position open. Do you think you think you would like to take a banker position? I said, yeah. And we're gonna pay you $1 more, but you're gonna still stay in the company. Ah, sounds good. I go up as a banker. I stayed there for about a year, and they said, wow, you work really great. You hit all your quotas and everything. There's a assistant supervisor position coming up, and we'd like to train you for it and see how it works out for you. So we're gonna pay you more. All right, cool. I moved to assistant manager position. I'm an assistant manager position. They said, we really like how you work. Everything under your supervision has been going great. And there's a manager position, a supervisor position opening up, and I think you're the perfect candidate for it. Are you up for it? I'm up for it. Let's go. Let's take it down. And here in Spain, it's like, first of all, they work. I don't know if it's doing it now, because I haven't worked for a Spanish company since 2018 or
Yeah.
2019. But they work on a contract system. Oh, 3-month contract, 6 months contract,
Yeah.
1 year contract, and then, like, after those 3 months that you're working for them, if they don't like you, they'll be like, bye, you're fired.
That's not only a Spanish thing though, because I work in the employment industry, and that's just normally like a probationary period. Like a lot of companies across Europe, they
Yeah.
give you a 3-month probation to prove yourself for a permanent job.
Yeah, and compared to the US, is they hire you, they either hire you full time or part time, and then if it doesn't work out for them in the company, they'll let you know. Hey, it's
Okay.
not working out. We're gonna have to let you go because it's not working out.
Okay.
But here's, like, you work for those 3 months, and let's say you're working your butt off for those 3 months, and they're like, we don't.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't fit our.
But
you're aware.
one second. But I kind of prefer that 3 month system than that 6 months or 1 year system. Because imagine me working my ass off for a year and then they tell me no after this year.
You
I
know?
gave my best for the year. I got sick on the job. I had to, I gave my all, my blood, sweat, and tears for a year, and they would tell me no after.
I have
I
a
kind of
buddy.
prefer the 3 months period. It's
Yeah,
shorter,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I have a buddy here who worked for this company for 14 years.
Ooh.
Okay,
Is
and the
this
company came. Yeah, and the company came to him and said, "Oh, we no longer are going to use that department in our company, so we're gonna have to let you go."
I've
yeah,
seen this.
but
This happened to a close friend of mine.
yeah, but that's not
Sir,
only a Spanish thing though. That's a global thing. A lot of people get made
Yeah, true.
redundant based on the business. So I wouldn't put that to Spain. I would more say in America there is more the culture of climbing the corporate ladder. Like,
Not only that, but not only that, there's a reason why they call the United States the land of opportunity compared to Spain. Go. I don't know right now, so I haven't lived in the U.S. for the last 7 years, but I know because I've seen people there and people that talk to me because of my YouTube subscribers and stuff. And if you go to the U.S. and you go to any job, you can apply, and if they see that you have the capabilities and the experience to work that position, they'll hire you.
okay,
Here in Spain, there's a thing called titulitis. You have to have a title in order for you to hold a position in Spain. For
yeah,
example,
yeah.
I went to apply. There was an open position here in Spain, in Galicia, where I live, in a banca, for a banker. And I went to apply for the banker position. And the girl that was going to interview me said, "What university title do you have in economics or in financial?" And I said, "None. I didn't go to university to study economics or financial." And she goes, "Okay, what kind of experience do you have?" And I said, "Well, I've worked in banking for over 7 years. I have banking experience. I work for U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan Chase. I've held different positions. I know how to handle money and stuff like that, and I know all the procedures, all the legal procedures, and I'm a fast learner." And she goes, "Unfortunately, since you don't have a university title that says you have an economics degree or financial or something financial, we can't hire you."
yeah, but that's because the
And
education system here facilitates it. You have let's say a 14% unemployment rate in Spain. The people that have the more education and have invested time in educating themselves, they're gonna get the opportunities. Like the employers are gonna pick the people that have the education. They're they're not gonna choose someone that doesn't have the same level of qualifications. Like there are
but
more people here with bachelor's degrees and master's degrees than in a lot of other countries because
oh
it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
cheap and it's so easy for compared to other countries to manipulate it, and you graduate and you're not in any debt. Whereas in America, if you wanted, like, let's say, to go into a bank at a medium level without like skip a few steps on the rung of
yeah,
success,
yeah.
you're gonna go in debt,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and then
Well,
you're
you
gonna
know,
start off
Davin,
you behind.
well, you know, Davin, as Sway said earlier, when people get a position here, they hold that position. So
True.
if imagine me who study a master's or a bachelor's degree in chemistry, for example, and I want to go to work for a big company. Usually those big companies, the positions are usually filled. And
Yeah,
even if, for example, you get like because after 4 years of studying, I should be entitled to a good paycheck. You know, I've
yeah,
heard stories. I've known like quite a few students who've been studying. When they finish studying, they can't find jobs. And when they do find like entry level jobs, at one point, as an auxiliary, I was getting paid the same amount of money as them with somebody as with a degree.
yeah,
So what's been happening over a few years is that Spain has a brain drain problem.
yeah,
A lot of people who find out that they're not being appreciated here, they can't find any positions. You see them go to other European countries who would
yeah,
gladly accept them with their degree and give them a nice paycheck and a
mhm.
nice house and a
Yeah,
nice life to go with it.
yeah. I have a friend who works. We have this girl who we know, and she was working here in Galicia, and she had studied her master's in psychology and all that stuff like that. And she was like, I can't find a job here with my master's degree in psychology. And
Exactly.
she ended up moving to Holland, and she's got her own psychologist like office and stuff like that, and she's working for a company over there, and she's making way more money than here,
10
and she's
times.
and she's living over there perfectly fine. And the other thing about here in Spain too, that I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I have seen it. Like, I know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, I see it with my own two eyes, and I've heard it from inside people that say here in Spain everything works by enchufe, by
Yeah, man.
connections.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
That's not a Spanish concept.
Yeah,
That's a
man.
global concept.
Yeah,
That's not a
man.
Spanish concept. That's a global concept. To say no, that's
Say the word again, Sway. Say the word again, Sway.
enchufe.
Enchufe.
Tony. It's just like we would say you have to have links. You have to have, in Jamaica we'd say you have a link. You have to have links.
In English, it's called nepotism.
No, nepotism is when a parent or a family member gets you a job.
Yeah.
Connection is different. Like when you have a connection, you just have a friend of a friend that works there. That's different. I don't think that is. No, nepotism is a bit different, bro. Because you should not be able to directly hire your child at a company that you work at unless they're qualified.
But it happens here in Spain, though. It
happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. It happens everywhere.
It has the same effect, Davian. The same effect.
Yeah,
if it's not your father putting in that company, it's a friend of a friend who knows a friend that will put in that company.
But you can't reduce it down to Spain alone, bro. Especially when it's predominant in other countries.
We're not reducing it to Spain. We're just saying it.
Okay.
We're saying what we see.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, I've seen it happen in the U.S. where they hire friends or people they know, but in Spain it's more like, I mean, in the U.S. it's more like, I say, hey, you should see my friend Tonniel, you should hire him, and they'll be like, we'll give him an interview and see how it goes, and they'll interview him, and they'll be like, yeah, well, he doesn't really fit, and I'll be like, no, he's really good, yeah, give him a chance because he's really great, and they'll be like, yeah, unfortunately it doesn't work for us. But here it's like, oh, he's the son-in-law of the CEO. Oh, we gotta hire him.
No.
Davian, I have seen it firsthand, Davian.
Tonniel, but you're saying like it's more. You're saying it's more extreme in Spain, bro. It's not.
No,
it's the same everywhere. It's the same everywhere.
You're wrong, Davian. You misunderstand.
No, Swear literally just compared America and Spain and saying in America you get an interview, you'll get an interview, but you might not get the job. In Spain, you're guaranteed the job. Once you have,
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, but
I've seen, like, with my own two eyes. I've seen people actually say, I've had guys here who work for big companies and say, I can't deal with this new generation. And I say, what's going on, bro? Well, this guy's just working. He doesn't know what he's doing. And I'm like, why is he working there? How come they didn't, like, give him a test? He goes, it's because he's the nephew of the owner.
It's the same. Like, it's the same thing everywhere. It's the same thing everywhere. It's the same thing everywhere. That's not a Spanish problem. That's a global problem. I go to Jamaica now, and if I move back to Jamaica now, and I tell my dad I'm moving back home and I want a job, who do you know? First thing I'm gonna go, all his friends. All his friends that have companies or work in a company, and then I go to my friends who has a company before I even send out a CV. That is how the world runs. Like, they tell people to go to networking events because people would rather hire you based on word of mouth than what's written on a piece of paper. Because what's written on a piece of paper, it's not fact.
So sometimes it's true, yeah. Sometimes what's written on a piece of paper, I can have on a piece of paper that I'm a terrible biochemist. I'm the best in my field. With all this, like, you have people who can study and get good grades and get a nice looking degree, but if you put them in the working world,
can't function.
Ooh. And that's the thing. That's the thing here. Like I was saying, that's the thing about here in Spain is that's the point that I'm talking about. Like, here you have a lot of people that have the capabilities of holding that job, that have way more experience, way more capacity of doing this stuff, and they say, "Oh, you don't have the title. I can't hire you."
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I worked in this position. How come you're not gonna hire me? Oh, we can't hire because And another thing, like, you need to have, if you have your studies outside of Spain, you need to have them translated, apostle, and take them to the office. And if they come around your paper, they'll stamp it and say you're good to go. And then once that happens, you go to any place here and they say not valid.
That's
You need to
quality.
go to school
That's
here.
quality control.
You know,
You can't let the riffraff in.
no, David, no, it's wrong. I don't believe in that, David. I don't believe in that.
You can't let the riffraff in. Not anyone.
No,
Only
David.
master's degrees and bachelors only.
Yeah, well, you know,
I'm
David,
just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man.
I'm kind of, I might face the same thing. You know why?
Yeah.
Because a few weeks ago, I went to, you know, like ask around like some lawyers and such about my degree, because you know, as you know, I don't want to spend all my life teaching kids. You know, I want to branch off and work into what I studied. You know, but going to a few places, they told me that like my line of study, which is like biochemistry, I can't use my degree here. What I can do with my degree is, for example, sign up for a university, and they might take off some courses for that. But I can't. What's the word? Homologate.
Oh, homologar.
Homologation.
I can't do that with my degree here. The only thing I can do, as I said, is like if I sign up for a master's, I might get some courses discounted. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So check this out. So fast forwarding, I didn't like working for a company, so I told my wife, let's open up our own business.
Yeah.
Worst decision ever.
Why?
Spain is not small business friendly.
No.
It's not. I mean, I can send you guys over. I can even show you guys right now live on here that there's so many TikToks of actual congressmen in the Moncloa in Spain talking to the government saying, how do you expect autonomos to make a living if you're charging them this, and this, and this, and this, and they can't even make it to keep any money to their families? How do you expect it? And you know why? It's because this is how I see it. They want everybody like sheep. They want everybody on this little herd. And when the one little sheep says, "Hey, I can do something on my own," and starts going out of the way, they're like, smack, back to the herd, back to where we can keep you. Because you see, Spain gives you quality of life, but it doesn't give you a style of living. So it gives you quality of life. You can have a freedom here. You can have tranquility with your kids, with life and everything. But the moment you want to succeed, the moment you want to make a name for yourself, the moment you want to make money for yourself, the government goes, no.
What's more
this
important?
Guy's getting too ahead of himself.
What's more important, though?
I always say this. People say, money doesn't buy happiness. Wrong. If you have all your bills paid, are you not happy? If you have all your bills paid, are you not going to be happy?
True.
Define true.
But you know,
that happiness is fleeting, because the more money you make, the more bills you'll have, and that will be subjected to it. But you know, Diddy wouldn't be having these parties. He had all the money and he's having these parties. That's what made him happy. Think about it, bro. You can't say money buy happiness. Yeah.
But the thing is, David, I don't think I would like to choose, to be able to choose. I would like the choice. If I want to chase money, all right, I can chase money, I can get rich, and I can live well. Or if I want to live a simple life, I eat my tostadas every morning, I drink my cafe, you know. I meet with my friends on weekends, I work my little job, I might have 1 or 2 kids, and I can send them to school.
You have the choice.
I just want the choice.
You have the choice, bro. You have the choice. You have the choice. You don't have the choice living in Murcia. If you want to chase that corporate life, move to Barcelona and Madrid as an international. Those are the places. The places we live, we don't have those choices. Move to Germany, move to the Netherlands, sacrifice the good weather and your happiness and make that money then. Because you can't have both.
Come back to Spain. Come back to Spain. If I go to Barcelona, I'm dead with those. Paying rent alone, I'm dead. I can't even go out with my friends.
That's the metropolitan area. That's the metropolitan area. But you'd earn.
That's what you just said me.
That's exactly. So people go to metropolitan areas to make money because there are more opportunities. That's where the opportunities lie. You're not going to find opportunities the same in Murcia or in Galicia that you'd find in Madrid.
All right, David, let me ask you a question. As a young man, because all of us here are young men, right?
Yeah, do you say anything?
We young.
Ish.
We We young. We rich, but we just don't have money.
We're rich in
Right?
time, yeah.
Rich in
Yeah.
love and rich in time and youth and all of these things. Right? Today is the 29th, the 27th of September.
Yeah.
Right? How long will it take me, Davin, to climb this ladder? How long you think? Realistically, Davin, how long you think it would take me to climb this ladder?
You can't put a time limit on it. You can't put a time limit. Most people become millionaires after 50. Most men reach their economic peak after 45. So with that said,
$1 million after 50.
No, but that's a global number, bro. Most people that become millionaires become a millionaire after 50. The richest man in the world, Warren Buffett, amassed most of his wealth after 60.
Don't compare with Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is in another league.
That's just one example.
Let me ask you, where does Warren Buffett live? Spain?
He lives in America, but there are Spanish billionaires as well. There are Spanish billionaires as well. You live in the text land, and that man is one of the richest men in the world. So he can do it, but no one else can.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it is here.
Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of people can do it.
Check this out. I invite the people that are watching and people that they want to come to Spain and say, I want to open up a business. Try it, and tell me if it's logical, and tell me if it's ethical that a person that doesn't have a job, that is starting to make a business, to starting to make money for the government, for the community, and you're charging them 400 euros per head. Okay. I am a business owner. My wife is a business owner. That's 800 euros you're charging us just to be autonomous.
Okay. All right. So an autonomo is a freelancer for the English speakers. A freelancer, even though you're self-employed, you're not a business. If you wanted to not pay this, you'd have opened a limited liability company. With a limited liability company, your taxes are dependent on your profits.
We opened a what is it called, or cooperative or something that's called here, because we said it was supposed to help us. Wrong. No. Even still with that, they told us, even still with that, you still have to be an autonomo. No matter what, you still have to be autonomous.
There's something wrong there.
It's only you and your wife, and so that therefore you have to be autonomous. Both of you guys.
Don't. I've looked into starting businesses here, and this is the thing: you have to have 3,000 euros or a little bit more in assets. You don't have to have it in cash or in the bank. Your computer, your laptop, maybe even your car. If you use your car for work, that counts as a part of your asset, and you can start a limited liability company. That is safer, and then you pay yourself a salary from it. But when you're paying yourself a salary, just like any other company, you have to pay taxes, income taxes, and the company has to pay social security for you. So
who's gonna keep all the accounts for you? You start out, right?
You hire, but that's a part. Every business has to do that. You can't. Businesses are expensive.
Not in the U.S. You can be your own accountant.
Okay.
You can be your own accountant in the U.S. You can file your own taxes in the U.S. And another thing, if I go to McDonald's,
taxes here in Spain.
No,
you can do that.
If I go to Mickey D's here, I'm not in the U.S. If I go to Mickey D's, I can grab a receipt and save it and say, my company bought me lunch. You have to ask for you have to ask for factura here. You have to go to the counter and say, can I get a factura? And they have to put all the information in the system.
Yeah, true.
Your this.
Bro, what's wrong with?
I just want the receipt.
It's simple.
I just want the receipt.
No,
and then you take it to the historian. Historian says, unless this is an official lunch or dinner from the company with said, factura, then you cannot take it out of the taxes or something.
You need a new accountant. You need a new accountant. And accountants here aren't expensive as well. So don't make it seem. Come on, 250 a month for a business, is that expensive?
250 is what she's charging us to do nothing. I'll tell you why.
You can file it yourself then.
Yeah, here in Spain, there's a lot of government help for companies, subvenciones they call it or whatnot here in Spain, which you can apply for if you're up to date or if you're on time for the application. And most of the time when said things come out, we'll ask our accountants for that, hey, is there a way we can apply for that? And she goes, no, you guys don't qualify.
Bro, I don't think you have a business problem. I think you have an accounting problem. Get rid of your accountant. I'm sorry to say it, but she doesn't sound like she's doing the right job. An accountant needs to go. This is the end of the month. Terminate that contract. Firstly, paying 250 is crazy for an accountant here. You can find an Astoria here for 50 euros a month.
But depends though. Again, you're in the south of Spain.
No.
So there must be like
your
this.
accountant doesn't need to be where you are. All you need to do is be able to email the facturas and your statements, and they do all that paperwork for you. They don't need to come and be where you are. You have a fancy account. Huh? I can guarantee
if they do their job.
I can
more comfort when your accountant is close.
Accounting doesn't need to be in person, because she's gonna tell you the same thing and charge you just for the oxygen.
It should be personal.
No.
This person should but this person should be trying to look out for my interest.
No, accountants don't work like that.
The accountants here in Spain don't work for your interest. They work for the government's interest, and whatever that has to be according to the law or whatever current regulations.
Yes. That is something I like. If you want a creative accountant, you need to employ them directly into your business, and that's necessary. That's a finance manager, someone that finds ways to save you money and how to spend money in your organization. An accountant, when you hire an external accountant, all they're going to do is file your receipts, create a balance sheet, and do things externally. They're not going to give you advice, because accountants aren't supposed to give you financial advice. They're not legally allowed to do that. They will tell you that you need to pay this tax and it's due, but they won't give you tax advice.
Yeah,
because they're not advisors.
Well, on top of that, they charge you 47% tax, right? 47% whatever you're earning has to be paid in IVA and all that stuff. On top of that,
well, you get back an IVA, bro. You get back an IVA.
But, Davian, have you ever worked for the Spanish government? Do you work for the Spanish government?
No, government is different.
You're so very pro Spanish. I don't know.
I know. Let me ask.
Wait. Before, Spain is one of the top countries in Europe where you can set up a business quite easily.
And do you experience it, Davian?
What do you mean?
Have you seen it?
Of course, I work for a Spanish company, bro. I work for a Spanish company where I know all the details that goes on in the company.
All right, for that company it might work, but have you seen other examples of other companies that are flourishing, new businesses within the last, let me say, 5 years? Because a new business, a new business, it needs at least 3-4 years to get on the ground, basically. Those
5 years, I would say.
4 years. That's why I'm putting it as an extraordinary case. 3 to 4 years to get on the ground running.
Okay.
Get everything well, and after those years is when you start to see the fruits of your labor. Can you point out any of those businesses right now, Davian?
Okay. And you're blaming the government for that? Can be just bad businessmen?
No, but the government should be one to try to facilitate these small businesses.
Well, as I said, Spain is one of the countries in Europe, I think top 5 countries in Europe where it's easy to start a business. It facilitates them, but it doesn't maintain them.
Easy to start, but easy to fail also.
Yeah, but whose fault is that when you fail, bro? You can't look at people to blame. If I'm going to start a restaurant or a cook shop around the corner, what am I going to do? I'm going to know the type of capital and the investment that I need to put in it and how long it will last. People here, they have an idea, or anywhere in the world, I want to start selling Vaseline. Because, the oil, everyone's buying baby oil. I'm going to start selling Vaseline. I'm going to start selling Vaseline because someone's buying baby oil. Baby oil is what's selling. Your Vaseline business is going to fail. It's going to fail. And people do that. People start business here without having any way to do it. So I don't blame the government, bro.
Let's read realistic. The realistic article here. According to the average RETA membership data released today, Spain, this is September 13, 2024, has lost an average of 327 self-employed workers each day alone in the month of August, going from 3.381 or 3,381,485 self-employed workers in July of 2024 to 350 self-employed workers in 2024, which represents a decrease of 10,135 self-employed workers and a loss here in Spain. So you're telling me that 327 self-employed have closed down shop. I mean, that's numbers that tells you why is it not working.
Why is it not working?
And I'll tell
Most
you,
small businesses fail. Most small businesses fail globally. That's what the Spanish thing.
But David, all right. Make we pull the brakes a little bit now.
All right, 2 more minutes on this topic, and then we move forward. Say your closing argument, Tonniel. Sway, you say your closing argument, and then we finish.
Moaya answer this well, David.
Okay.
Isn't but for real, isn't it the government's job to give incentives to these small businesses so that they stay open? Because at the end of the day, the government actually benefits, the economy benefits, the GPD of the country benefits when these small businesses come and they do their thing and they're making money for the economy. So the Spanish economy can have more money for their citizens so that they can give even freer health care. They can build, for example, in Murcia here, let's say the El Carril Bici, where the bicycles can go. They plant trees in the towns, the ayuntamiento, all of these things. Shouldn't there be ones to try to give incentives for young entrepreneurs to try to come up and to make businesses and try to help the Spanish government? Because without these small businesses, David, the government, they need the small businesses, David. They need them. It's not like they don't need them. So they birth 300 today, and that same 300 can die next week. I don't think that is the goal.
Tonniel, you're getting
or
me
should
wrong.
Be the goal.
You're getting me wrong. I'm not saying the
Very
government.
wrong.
I'm not saying the government shouldn't do anything to facilitate the growth of small businesses. I'm all for that, because even Sway said it. There are programs in place that help small businesses. He just didn't qualify for it. It doesn't mean that the guy next door doesn't qualify for it as well. He might have qualified and gotten the facilitation for it. But what I'm saying is that most small businesses fail. This is a fact, because I can get up tomorrow and I have a great idea that I'm going to build a ship in the Murcia River and charge people for rides. It doesn't mean that it will be a great business. People have bad ideas and they think it will be a business, and then it's not a business.
Then it's the government's job to try to warn against certain type of businesses and encourage. Wait, I'm landing. Let me land. And encourage what they would like to see or what they think would be a better idea.
It would be better.
Are these systems in place for small businesses?
There are systems in place. What you should say is maybe the government. Wait. What you should say is the government should probably put in more educational programs to help self-employed people manage a business. Because I can have a great business idea, but I have no idea about how accounting works, how marketing works, how the operation of a business works. I can be making the best freaking mics on the market, but if I can't market it, if I can't run our operations, it's going to fail. And you can't blame the government for that. You're in a system.
We actually can. As
let me put it this way. We own a business, right? We have a family of 4, and we have to pay 800 euros in Autonomos. Money that doesn't come to my pocket. Money that goes to the government's pocket.
Is this money monthly?
Money every month.
Every month.
This is another thing. Whether I'm earning or I'm not earning, whether I'm making a profit or I'm not making a profit, this money has to be paid. And if I miss a payment, then the next month I will be charged interest on this payment, plus the payment of the late month and the new month. And if you don't pay, you can't continue being a small business owner. You can't continue being a small. So I'm paying 800 euros just to hold the title of Autonomo. On top of that, I gotta pay my rent. On top of that, I gotta pay tax upon that rent, tax upon the building that I'm already holding, and on top of that, whenever I get a help from the government, I gotta pay tax on that help that I get sent from the government. So the government tells me you're gonna get 3,000. The government says, well, you're gonna get 3,000 plus I get my chunk. I get my cut. So my cut. So my cut is about 50%. So you only get 1,500 out of the 3,000 that I promised you was gonna get.
You see, Sway, and
you're just like,
Sway, these are business expenses. You knew this going into it that you'd have to pay this, right?
We didn't know about it until after we started our business, because the first they told us
wait.
Autonomous is only 80. They told us Autonomous is $80 a month. We said we can pay $80 a month.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
our accountant when we first started. She said $80. I said, cool, $80 a month. You can pay $80 a month, but keep this in mind.
Your
Compared to the US.
accountant left off a zero.
Yeah, but compare this. We were talking about compare this to the U.S. I dare you to go to the U.S., start a business, and tell me if you have to pay 400 euros or $400 every month. And
No,
I tell you right now, you will not pay 400 euros every single month to hold a business, a small business. Before I came from the U.S. to Spain, I was selling T-shirts because I was making T-shirt designs. I was selling T-shirts outside of a stadium, and I was getting paid, and I had registered my business on the IRS. I had registered my business with the government and everything. I paid $50 to register my business, to get an EIN number and everything, get it all registered, and I was making money, and I wasn't paying anything. And if I would have continued, I would have had my store. I would have been paying rent to my store. I would have done my accounting. I would have done all that stuff, everything that has to be done. But I wouldn't have to worry about paying $400 for my wife, $400 for me. That's $800 that can go into my pocket.
Where does this $800 go? Doesn't it go to Social Security?
It doesn't. Tell me, do I get Social Security? Because here as an Autonomo, you don't get Social Security.
No. It doesn't go to your pension when you retire.
No, it doesn't.
So this 800 is just to operate each month. I find
it's just to have the license.
I find that hard to believe.
And even if it goes to Social Security, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, at the end of all this lifetime, look up online and Google it.
I'm Googling now.
The people that are Autonomos in the future have a less pension than the people that actually work for a company. So you're telling me you're gonna punish me for trying to better myself? You're gonna punish me for trying to open a business because I wasn't part of your system, because I wasn't a slave to your 9 to 5, because I wasn't a slave to your system of working every single day, because I wanted to better myself? You're going to punish me with 400 every month, and on top of that, when I retire, you're gonna tell me, oh, since you didn't work for me, you don't get the full pension that everybody else is getting. You're getting your measly little pension because of what you paid. Mm-hmm. You're punishing me. So at this point, it's just like it's not worth it to have a business like that, because why am I going to have a business like that? If at the end of the day, it's not going to help me out.
Is the Autonomo fee subjected to the amount of money you make each month and your age?
It depends. It depends on if it depends your gender, and depends also on your age, and it also depends on if it's your first time opening or if you already had one before and you're reopening again. So if I'm a woman, or if I identify myself as a woman, then I get certain benefits. That's another thing. I can easily go into the government and say, I identify myself as a woman, so I decide I want to get benefits as a woman, and that's what I will get, benefits as a woman. But let me ask you now this question, okay?
But this is all going into your pension, bro. I'm reading here and it says it all goes to your pension.
It's going to go to your pension, but are you going to get the same amount of pension you will get working for a slave system?
You don't know that. It depends on the salary that you'll be making. It depends on the salary. No, because your pension is dependent on the salary that you make, bro. So how will he know that? How will he know? Okay. How?
Now let me ask you this.
If you're making minimum wage, your pension is going to be shit.
Yeah, let me ask you this question. This is my ending statement.
Last question. Yes, right? Last one, and we move to the next question.
Yes. Okay. And I want your sincere opinion. No BS of Spain or not. You, right? A dark-skinned man, me, Hispanic man, opens a business here in Spain, and the same business that I opened, a Spanish-born, raised person opens the same business. Which business is going to thrive? Let's leave it at that.
The business with the better businessman is going to strive on a better product. The business with the better businessman is going to strive.
David, go, David, go away, go, David, go.
Yeah. Let's
Next question.
We got interview by the local newspaper and by the local TV about our business. Everybody came to our store, came to look at the stuff. If you go to that article right now and you scroll all the way down in the article, all the comments are negative. Oh, who these people think coming over to our country, opening a business? Who this Latino thinks is going to come over here and make a name for himself? Oh, you guys are going to last for a year, 6 months. You guys are going to be closed. Another girl, a Galician girl, opens the same exact business that we have here. They interview her. They give her an interview and everything. You scroll down to the comments. Enhorabuena. I'm so proud of you. Good job. I can't wait to visit Coruña so I can visit your shop. Wow. I can't wait to be there. I love seeing people like you thrive. It's like, bro, come on. You gonna tell me it's not about this. I have money. I make money. I make money through digital marketing. It's just I'm not using Gucci. I'm not using Louis Vuitton. I'm not using that to tell people I'm rich. Yeah, but the thing is that my business is not thriving because already it's set. First of all, I'm young, right? I'm supposed to be on the system. I'm not on the system. I'm making a name for myself. I'm young. I have kids. I'm out of this country, and I'm trying to succeed. And I'm not to their stereotype. I'm not a waitress. I'm not a waiter. I'm not a dishwasher. I'm not working picking up trash. I'm making a name for myself. And so they see that as a threat. They see that as a threat, like, oh snap, right? And so I mean, honest question: if you were to open a business, Tonniel and Davin, you guys will open a business, and the same person, another white person, let's put it that Spanish person opens the business, I'm telling you 100%, whether you like it or not, whether you're pro Spain or not, your business ain't gonna thrive.
I feel
Simple
like
as that.
I'd rise to the top. But next question. What are the main like let's do some rapid fire questions. We're eating up the people's time.
And then we go to the chat for some questions.
Please put your question.
The chat is blowing up. People are talking.
Please put some questions in the chat. Someone said that the government thinks you have money because you started a business.
Yeah.
And then you just said on YouTube that you have money, so they're coming for you. They're coming.
my money's not here, so you can come at me, but you ain't got no trace of my money.
They're coming for you. All right. So rapid questions, quick answers. Then we can move forward. They discuss the thing. Okay. What are the main challenges that you face when adapting to Spanish culture and the daily life? Like you wake up in the morning, what's the main challenge that you face?
Is the siesta a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah. I say the times the things are open. Like the whole like open from 9 to 2, and then from 2 to 5 everything is closed, and then from 5 to 8 everything opens again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my biggest concern for me. Or sometimes big shopping centers or other places are not open on Sunday, or even grocery stores are not open on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, what if you run out of milk on Sunday? You can't go to the store. It's closed.
Okay, fair.
No worry.
There's always someone. How do you feel about let's say the bureaucracy, such as dealing with the visas? You mentioned a bit about the taxes and stuff like that. On a whole, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you rate it compared to America?
Compared to the US, I don't know, man. I say they're tied. They're between a 5 each.
They're all shitty.
But the US does things faster.
Okay,
that's one thing.
Okay,
that's one thing. They're both shitty, but the US does things faster than Spain.
Okay. And you mentioned the work culture, so I can skip over. What about the housing? How is the housing in Spain different from that of the US, such as the cost of rent, cost of buying a house? How do they differ?
The size of the beds, the size of the bedrooms,
yeah,
all of these things. Because that was a big shock for me when I came here.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple minutes ago about you have more possibilities if you go to a bigger city, right?
Yeah.
But if you go to a bigger city, your housing and your cost of living goes up. So it depends pretty much. I think that's worldwide, and I think also in the U.S. If you live in New York, you're going to be paying a lot of money. If you live in Miami, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Dallas, etc., you're going to be paying a lot of money. But if you go to some hick town, right, some like low down 15,000 people town,
place that's behind God.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not going to charge you an arm and a leg for rent. Like, for example, I live in an aldea, which here in Spain, an aldea is like a small town where literally you blink and you missed it. Like, oh snap, we already passed the town. Like that's how small it is. Like that, straight up, that's how it is. And we pay 300 euros a month for a 3-bedroom apartment. Right?
Oh, so you see, they're coming for you.
Don't disclose everything here. They're listening.
That's cheap, right?
Yeah.
But if I wanted to move to the city center of Coruña for a 1-bedroom apartment, I'm paying no less than $900.
Yeah, man.
But as I said, trade off for the opportunity being in the metropolitan, being close to everything. Like it depends on what the people want. Depends on what you want. Well, you chose a small town.
We were living in a semi big city in Oregon, and we were paying about $795 for a 2-bedroom house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, of course, things have changed now, and things are probably going to get more expensive now in the U.S. than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when it comes to housing costs, I say here in Spain, they win because you get more. I mean, I always say it on my stories, and I always say it on my YouTube videos. Let me know in the comments, where in the United States of America am I going to find a 3-bedroom apartment for $300? Until this day, nobody has told me, "Oh, you go to
Nobody.
this place," because it's not going to happen. And again, I guess also depends on where you move. But even here in Spain, we've tried to look for places in Murcia. We try to look for places in Benidorm. We try to look for places in Alicante, and they don't go down below 600. 600,
Yeah.
700, 800,
Yeah.
900. And it's like, I'm fine where I'm at then. I'm
Yeah.
going to stay here with my $300
No,
and,
Yeah.
no.
and
Why not? Why
Your
not?
landlord,
smelling cow shit in the morning and stuff.
your landlord's gonna hit you up in the morning, or maybe your accountant left off a zero off this as well. It could be. All right. Next one. What do you enjoy most about living in Spain day to day? This. What do you enjoy most? Like, what makes Spain worthwhile for you and your family on a day to day basis?
I guess for me, the one thing I got to enjoy about Spain was the family time, the quality time that like you said. Even when I was working for a company here in Spain, they don't make you work extra hours. It's like you work your 40 hours, you're done.
Go
You know what I
home.
mean? You're done. Go home. You're like, oh no, I gotta finish this. Mañana lo haces. You finish it tomorrow. Don't even worry about it. Like,
Next
it's just
week.
like exactly. That right there for me was like enjoyable. The fact that you can actually go to a plaza and enjoy a beer, enjoy a coffee with friends, or that you can go to a restaurant and be sitting down in a table for 3 hours or more and still enjoy your meal, still enjoy time
And don't
compared
tip.
to the
And
U.S.
don't tip. You don't have to tip.
Exactly.
You don't have to tip.
That's, that's one of the things I liked about, and also
Uh,
the cost of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can go to Rome for 24 euros.
yeah,
I can go
yeah,
to
yeah.
London. I can go to London for 15 euros. I can travel. I live 3 hours away from Porto. I can literally drive to Porto. And I don't have to pass a border control. I literally cross the
Europeans
bridge.
have it easy. Europeans
Yeah,
have it
exactly.
easy here.
You
Yeah,
cross the
man.
bridge and you're like, I'm in another country. There's no border patrol. I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. When I drove to France, and I was like, oh, we're in France already. Well,
Wow.
where's the border patrol? Where's
Yeah.
where's the
Europe
immigration?
has it
Nothing.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that is enjoyable.
Okay. Okay. And what about it when it comes to making like friends and networking with your people? Like, how was that? What was that like?
Ain't got no friends.
No.
Nah, I
What's
got no
it?
friends.
You ain't got no Spanish friends? No, I don't believe that.
No,
I don't believe that.
no,
I don't believe that.
ain't got no
What do
friends.
you do
That's tough.
extracurricularly?
That's tough.
What's your extracurricular
The,
activities?
let's put it this way, right? In my This is my point of view. I lived here for 7 years, going on 8. I think this goes worldwide, right? Not just Spanish people, right? But I had more friends in the U.S. than I had here. But I'm gonna put it like this: like, I feel that Spanish people are like a coin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a coin is, right?
Bumbo
A coin
coin.
has two faces, right? A
Two
coin has
faces. Yeah.
two faces, right? So in front of you, they're like, "Hola, amigo, ¿qué pasó, güey? What's up?" And kiss on his cheek, and how are you? How are the kids? Blah, blah, blah. As soon as you bounce, oof, you see what they were wearing? You see what he's driving? I heard they're small business owners. I wonder
Yeah.
how their business is doing. Are they actually thriving? Are they actually making money? Like, I don't know. It kind of
Wow.
makes you think, if they're making money as small business owners. Yeah, I don't know why people come here like that, thinking the mentality that. Have you noticed that they always talk English with their kids? What's the deal with them talking English with their kids? I mean, hello, you're in Spain. Speak Spanish to your kids. And I'm just like,
Okay.
you know
But
what I mean?
but is
Like,
this a
so
Spanish
Yeah,
thing or
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
personal thing for you though? Like,
this is
is your
Spanish thing, bro.
yeah?
For me, it's a
So you
Spanish thing.
haven't
I
been,
mean,
but your wife was born in Galicia. She's Spanish.
no, she wasn't born in Galicia.
Where is
She
she
was born
born?
in L.A.,
She was born in LA, but
Los
she's
Angeles.
Galician as well.
Yeah, but her dad is from here,
Oh, okay.
and her mom is from Nicaragua. But
Ah.
she was born in the U.S. in Los
Oh.
Angeles.
So she just moved
Yeah,
back. Did she know him growing up or no?
she lived in both places. She traveled back
Yeah,
and forth
but
with her
Okay.
but
mom and
okay,
her dad.
okay.
And so like we have friends here that are Hispanic,
Mhm.
Argentinian, Venezuelan, Colombian,
La
and
comunidad, la comunidad.
it just so happened that one or two of them are married to a Galician, and therefore we've come into close contact with that gentleman or with that girl because they are married to that Hispanic
Okay.
girl. But if you were to ask me, do you have a full-blooded Spanish-only friendship? No, I don't.
I can actually testify that it's hard to forge friendships with Spanish people because they keep their friendships from childhood all the way through as well. It's like to get into the group, to the zone where you say, "Oh, this is my friend." It's a big transition. Like you have to jump hurdles. It feels like at times. Whereas I can just meet an expat and we're friends. 2 weeks later, we're having beers.
Also, cultural differences too, man. But because this is gonna bring me a lot of haters, but it's the truth. I'm a dad.
You don't have friends.
I am a father. I have a father of two.
Yeah.
Right. So when you become a dad, what is your responsibility?
Wife and your kids, man.
So you're telling me that it's okay to leave my kids with the grandpa so I can go party like I'm 18 years old?
No. Friendship doesn't necessarily mean party, but you can do activities. You can go play football. You can go, interact like we need.
On like, how do you call it? Wise hours. But if you're telling me, oh, I left my kids with the grandparents because we went out clubbing and dancing 2-3 in the morning, bro. You ain't 19, you ain't 20 years old. You married, you got kids for a reason, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't want to have, you don't want to have kids, then should have kept them legs closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can do it like the Spanish people. Just take them to the bar with you. Like, why can't you take your kids to the bar? Like, it's normal here. Like, I see it.
A good thing.
Also another thing. Also another thing. Cultural difference again.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in where?
Jamaica.
In Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Did your mom or your dad not spank you?
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah.
Mine didn't.
I still
got one. I got one beaten.
Okay. Is that acceptable here in Spain? Is that a thing here in Spain?
No, they bruise easily.
Yeah.
It's a cultural difference.
Yeah.
That we are more family oriented. We're more strict. We're more close minded to certain things that here in Spain are really liberal and really open minded.
Mm-hmm.
That we feel that there should be a time for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a kid, live as a kid. And if you're a teenager, protect the teenager because they're going into that stage of life where things are going to get hard, things are going to be difficult. But if you just throw them out in the water, into the sharks, and then you say, oh, so-and-so got raped, this girl got gang-banged by 5 guys. Well, where was the mom? Where was the dad? What was she doing? What was she doing out at 5? What was she doing out at 5 in the morning, 3, 4 more? Yeah.
I'm laughing, but it's not her fault though. It's not her fault though. It's the people that did this to her. She's not at fault. She shouldn't be blamed. She should be able to be out at that time without worrying about that stuff, bro.
But where was her? I mean, you're telling me if it's under 18-year-old and you're out and about and you're getting drunk and all that stuff, shouldn't that be taught in your house already?
Yeah, I'm saying there should be discipline, but because a lack of discipline
that don't exist here.
Because a lack of discipline doesn't give someone else the right to take that action against someone. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is there is no discipline, and if you discipline your kids, then they look at you in the wrong way. They look at you like, oh snap, and then they decide not to befriend you or not to get close to you because they think you're too close-minded or they think that you're too strict.
Okay. How do you feel?
And it's just like...
Okay. Question was related to the discipline of the kids since you're a family man. How do you feel about other people disciplining your kids? Because we used to live in a society where the neighbors could discipline their kids. Like, I know...
The village would be the one to grow the child.
I know if I did something when I was growing up on the street, Mary could give me a spanking. And if I go home and I tell my parents that Mary spanked me, they would ask, why did Mary spank you while giving me another spanking? One,
it must be for a good reason.
And maybe 2 spanking. 1 for embarrassing them, so Mary had to spank me, and 1 for doing something for Mary to spank me.
Let's just put it this way. There is no somebody else disciplining your kids. Because I'm going to tell you, from my point of view, experience that I have seen here happen in a soccer game, for example, in a football game, where a parent was telling his kid, so-and-so, little Luke, come over here. I don't want to. I'm calling you. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going. Like that to their dad. Joder, macho, ¿cómo me cago en tus puertos muertos? Que no sé qué, like that to the dad. And I'm like,
wow.
Bro, I looked at my kid and I said, I dare you. Try what he's trying. I dare you, bro. You want to know that? You want to know outside of me? I dare you.
I
Go
dare
and try
you.
it. And my little boy looks at me and goes, nah, I'm good, Pav. I ain't even going that road. I'm not even going that road. I ain't more. So there is no discipline. There's no discipline here. There's no discipline. Another thing. Have you noticed something in Spain, culture-wise?
Mhm.
There is no Mister. There is no Sir. There is
No.
no excuse me. There is can I, may I, please, thank you. There's none of that here. There's tú. There is dame eso, pásame aquello.
Ponme esto, ponme
Yeah,
esto.
exactly, bro. And my kids are growing up with, may I be excused from the table?
Mhm.
Yes, you may. You're done. Pops, can I get a glass of water? Can get a glass of water. Hey, can I go play on my PlayStation? You can go play on your PlayStation. Good morning, Pops. Good morning, boy. Good night, Pops. Good night. Good morning, Mom. Thank you for the
Oh,
food, Mom. Thank you. Or even if to the strangers. Hello, Mister. Excuse me. May I have a bag of chips?
old
Yeah, of
school
course.
discipline.
Of
That's what I
course.
mean. And so that's the culture differences here, and that's why there's no discipline. Going back to your question, how is somebody gonna discipline my kid if their kid is not even disciplined?
True.
So if that were
It
to
doesn't
happen,
exist.
if they were to come and discipline my kid, I would be like, hey. First of all, before you point one finger forward, there's three of them pointing back at you. So
True.
look at your kid, and then you can talk about my kid, because I
True.
know for a fact my kid is well educated and respected, and he knows how to respect his elders and treat. He opens up doors for ladies, and the lady's like, you don't have to open the door for me. He tells the people, Mister, Sir, and they're like, no, don't call me usted, don't call me Mister, call me Pablo, call me Marco. And I looked at him and I say,
It's
not in front of me, you
informal.
ain't gonna call Marco.
Informal.
Yeah,
And they don't really say good morning as well. Because I know if I walk through my neighborhood back home and I see any adult and I don't say good morning, and I can't even call them by the first name, I had to say good morning, Miss Cherry. Good morning,
Yeah.
Mr. Grant. Everyone, I
but
would say
that
good morning, and every day I would say good morning.
but that's going back. That's a Spanish thing. I went to Italy. I went to France. Right. I'm sitting in a restaurant in Italy. Okay, a restaurant. A lot of people. I'm sitting there. A guy comes in. Buonasera, and we was like, oh, hey, buonasera. Hey, hi. Uh, in France, bonjour, bonjour. Hey, yeah. I don't even know who you are, but bonjour. Bom dia in Portugal.
Yeah.
Boa noite. It's like they even have that when you go to a place. They treat you like here's like as soon as you walk into a bar. Next time you go into a bar, tell me if they're gonna tell you good morning.
Is
They'll be
that
like,
is that
uh,
Galicia though?
they-
Is that just
yeah,
Galicia though?
they're like, you go into the bar and they're like, que te doy. Oh, okay.
Is that just
Bro, there's no customer service here. There's no treatment.
Ah,
They don't know how to work the customer here. They don't know how to treat the customer. You go to any place and they're gonna treat you however they feel like they're treating you. There's no customer service. There's no taking it into account that this person is your first time maybe going to your business, and the impression you're gonna give them is gonna last for the rest of their lives. I have customers coming to my store and tell me the fact that you took the time to explain all this and treat me the way you treat me makes this such an amazing
makes me want to
experience.
come back.
Because why? Because you go into another store or a coffee shop or anything, and they won't give you that experience. That's one of the things that the U.S. excels over everything else because of the customer experience in anything, phones and restaurants, banks, legal system, anywhere, even the DMV, even the places that are most hated in the U.S. They'll have some sort of customer service, some sort of, I don't know, ethical way of treating you that they don't have here in Spain. Simple as that. I mean, that's just the things that I see here in Spain. There's just like,
The fact,
you
the
know what I mean?
fact, the fact that the kids in schools, for example, call their teachers by their first name, it says
So
it all.
God protect me if I ever call my teacher by the first name.
Hey, forget about it. The hand would be swift when it's
Man,
falling
the,
from a
the,
teacher.
the cane would be swift.
And
The whip. All right.
yep.
All right. So to wrap up, to finish off things, what advice would you give someone moving to Spain? Like what's
yeah,
one piece of advice that you'd give to everyone before they move to Spain?
I always say this: do your research before coming to Spain. Wherever it is you're thinking about coming to live in Spain, do your research. First, because you have to know that here in Spain, the main language is Spanish. That's another thing. People come here with only the basics of Spanish, and they need to know that if they're going to come to live in Spain and be part of Spain, you need to know more than the basics of Spanish. And you need to do your research, because if you go to Catalonia, they're going to talk to you in Catalan. If you come to Galicia, they're going to talk to you in Galician. Languages in certain regions are second hand. Spanish is second hand in some places. If you come to Galicia, they don't talk to you in Spanish. They talk to you only in Galician. If you go to Catalonia, they're gonna talk to you only in Catalan. If you go to other places that have regional languages, they're gonna have talk to you in that language. And I always say this. I said this in my last story, and I'm gonna tell this to the people. Come to Spain if you want to live your life,
Mhm.
but if you want to make a living, don't do it.
Don't
You
do
got
it.
you they hear that, Vian?
Say that
You hear
again.
what he
Say it
said
again.
about the language? You heard
Say
he said
it
about
again.
the language?
Repeat it
Say
again. Repeat it again.
if you want to live life, you can come to Spain. But if you want to make a living, don't do it.
Well said. Well
Perfect.
said. Well
Perfect.
said. Well
Perfect.
said. Well
Well
said.
said.
Well said.
But which is more important, though? It's up to a man to choose. Do they want the quality of life, or do they want the hustle and bustle? Every man is different, and every
Mhm.
person needs to make a decision for themselves. Okay.
Yep.
But that's pretty much all my questions for you, Sway. Like you've explained a lot, and if there's anything that we've missed, please now's your time. Put them in the comments. We'll be doing a Q&A for the
Yep.
next 15 minutes, and then we'll call it a night. Sway has his kids; he has to discipline them, so he, he needs to go soon.
Hey, it's movie night. They're actually watching a movie.
Ah,
Every Friday night is movie night.
Okay,
So
okay, good,
gotta
good, good.
gotta catch up with the movie.
Okay, Tony, do you have any more questions, sir?
I think he answered all the questions.
Good, good.
Everything. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
all right. Someone asked in the chat to start the Q&A. Then, how do you deal with the weather in Galicia? It depresses most people.
Where I come from in Oregon, it's the northwest part of the U.S. And literally, Oregon and Galicia are like brothers and sisters. They're literally the same thing. The only thing is that Oregon is on the Pacific side of the ocean, and Galicia is on the Atlantic side of the ocean. But they're both green, full of rivers and mountains and valleys and lakesides. Lakes and all that stuff. And it's always rainy. It's always cold. But the only thing that I do miss about Oregon and living in the Northwest is you have every station of the year marked. You know when it's spring because it's spring. You know when it's summer because it's summer. You know when it's fall because it's fall, and so with winter. But here in Galicia, it's rainy and gray all year round. The hottest it can get here is 28, 29, maybe 30 degrees.
I pass.
Maybe.
I pass.
At best, maybe 1 or 2 days of the year. So how did we get adjusted to it? I just looked at it as living back home. And whenever we wanted to get hot weather, we just travel. We travel to Madrid, we travel to Benidorm, we travel to the south of Spain, we travel to south of Portugal because it's affordable to do so. And then once we go there and we enjoy the hot weather, then we come back here. And so that's one of the ways to get adjusted to it. But if you're watching this and you love the hot weather, you love the sunny weather, and you think that you want to live in Spain where it's all year round sunny, do not come to Galicia. Don't.
Go to.
You know, I have a question for you, Sway. Because even though I might not look it, you know, but I used to go to the barber a few years ago, right? And for example, when I had to go to the US for some summers to work in the summers, you know, I have to find a barber for the meantime, right? What type of barber do you go to? Is your barber Spanish? Is your barber Hispanic? Is he Marroquí? Is he African? Is he Dominican? Is he Puerto Rican? Where is your barber from?
My barber is from Venezuela.
Ah. Why couldn't it be a Spanish barber?
Because they don't know how to cut hair. And before my Venezuelan barber,
Yeah.
the barber I had before him was Dominican.
They cut here the best Dominicans.
Yeah, but he had to move to another city, so
You have to switch
I ended
barber.
up getting. But he told me about this new barber, and this new barber is it's
Good,
goat.
go then. Someone in the chat also asked, did you file taxes in the US for your T-shirt business? You don't have to answer
Yes,
that.
I did. Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, my wife was an accountant before CPA before we came to the U.S. and she was actually helping people. Like she was like a gestora. She was helping people file their taxes in the U.S. She studied with H&R Block and a bunch of other what do you to do the filing taxes and stuff like that. And she was doing that. She was doing that for our company. She was doing that for many of the people that didn't know how to file it because in the U.S. a lot of people don't know about how to file their taxes or how to do the things, and so you go to places that they file it for you. You don't have to pay monthly. It doesn't have to be a gestora. You have to pay monthly. You can just go to a place like H&R Block or other places that do file our taxes for you, and it does it. And that's I used to do that. Yeah,
Nice.
of course we did.
Good. And next question, the most important question tonight. Do you agree with me when I say Galicia has the best fries I've had in Spain, probably in the world?
Best fries.
Fries, yeah. Patatas fritas. Like the fries.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
It took you a while. Where were you thinking?
I was thinking about Portugal.
No, the food in Portugal sucks.
Well, it depends on where you go.
I went to Porto and the food sucked there. I had a really bad experience with the food.
Because you went to Porto, you didn't go to Villanova de Gaia. You didn't cross the bridge.
Okay. That I will do. That I will do next.
You should have went to the Brazilian side of Portugal.
Yeah, I went and for me, when I go somewhere, the food is my main thing. The food,
Galicia is the best food.
the food, then the nature, then the people.
Yeah,
that's my
the
ranking.
food in Galicia is the best one.
And the food in Portugal disappointed me. What's the?
No, but the food.
What are you eating in Portugal, David?
I tried everything, bro. Everything. I tried all the local dishes, the national dish. You'd hate that bacalao, the saltfish. You'd hate it. I tried
No,
the
I don't like
sandwich.
bacalao in Europe.
What's the sandwich thing again? What's they call that sandwich thing with the egg?
Oh, hey, the Franchesina. Come on, you can't go wrong with the Franchesina.
Franchesina.
Franchesina is the best.
You know what Franchesina is? You couldn't eat it to me. Franchesina was made. You know, like when you go in your fridge and you have 2 slices of bread and you're high and you burn some herbs and you smoke some weed and you have a bill and you want something to eat and you just put everything together. And you have some leftover sauce from the night before. All in one. Just slap together.
But it's delicious.
No.
But it's delicious. Wait, when you is high, everything is delicious.
Yeah. That's why the Franchesina was invented. That's how the Franchesina was invented.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
But I think that out of all the food that I've tried in Spain, Galicia is the best food. Mm-hmm. Out of all the foods that I've tried in Spain. I mean, in Spain, I can't compare it to other countries because Italian food is just up here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But in Spain, Galician food is the best food. Period. And they eat like sizable portions. Like I go to a lady here close to where we have the store, and what she serves me, literally 3 people can eat at the same plate.
Oh yeah,
and it's just one plate. It's just one service.
The tapas up there on the top. They give you a meal. I felt like
it should be.
I went up there and I felt like a man when I see the amount of meat on my plate. It felt like food, bro. You know, like sometimes you go here and you order. I remember when I just got to Spain and I went to this bar. I went to this restaurant/bar, and I was there with my girlfriend and I was like, I want some ribs. I see ribs on the menu. I haven't had ribs in a while. And I ordered the ribs, only the ribs and a drink. And when the ribs came, 2 things like my finger on my plate. And this was in Barcelona, so I was paying like 18 euros for the entire thing. And I was like, I'm expecting a rack of ribs.
Rack? Which rack?
2 little things. This portion size is here.
But when you come to Galicia and you go to ask for churrasco, they give you the whole rack and a half.
Yeah.
And a half.
I went with Daniel to all you can eat Argentinian restaurants because I love Argentinian food as well, like the steaks and the grill.
Like the Brazilian food.
Yeah. Overall, how do you rate Spanish food compared to American food? Take into consideration everything, not just the taste, the benefits as well, because there's more to food than it just tasting good.
I would choose Spanish food over American food any day, over anything.
You don't think it's too plain, this food here?
You know,
no. Again,
Galician food isn't plain, bro. Galician food isn't plain.
The thing is, if you ask me about food, the first thing that comes to my mind is Galician food. I don't think about Spanish food in general. I think about Galician food, and for me, that's the best food there is in Spain. So if I were to choose like Spanish food, which is for me is Galician food, compared to the U.S., I would choose Galician food any day. Now, if you were to ask me Galician food or Mexican food, that's another thing, man. That's another
No,
that's
that's
another
not.
ballpark right there.
There's no
That's
competition
food.
there. There's no competition there. There's no competition there. There's no competition there. Even for me, Mexican food highly ranked. No offense to Spain and Galicia, Mexican food is highly ranked, highly coveted cuisine, highly coveted.
Coveted. What's the
Yeah,
coveted?
highly coveted. That
Uh,
that
Yeah,
that food
yeah.
will have you. That food will bring tears to your eyes, warm to your soul,
Yes, sir.
warm to your
Yes, yes.
soul.
That is what do you call it? That is comfort food.
Yes, good comfort food. All right, we don't have any more question. Okay, one question. Social life and life with your family. Would you prefer Galicia, Murcia, or in the States? Which would you prefer?
For what?
To live with your
For
family,
social?
social life, your family, your kids?
Well, I've never been to Murcia, so I can't answer Murcia.
Yeah.
I would say between like the U.S. and like living in Spain, I would say that depending on where in the U.S.
Pick your ideal
But I'll
spot in
probably,
the pick your ideal spot in the US and your ideal spot in Spain, and where would you live? Where would you pick? The best spot in Spain, the best spot in the US.
it's hard because both places have their pros and their cons. You see, like if I were to choose a place in the U.S., I would still choose the Northwest. I would still choose like Montana, northern Idaho, maybe eastern Oregon, like Redmond, southern Washington, like that type of area. Because it's just I love that. I mean, I grew up in that area, so I love that. And then here in Spain, I would say the south of Spain. I'll say like Benidorm,
No,
Alicante.
don't do that. Don't go to Don't go to Benidorm.
why not?
Benidorm is
What is wrong with Girito?
he picked the Northwest and then he picked Benidorm. He's like, let me go where it's calm and tranquil, but in Spain, I'll pick a party city. I'll pick a party city with the least amount of Spanish people there.
That's the reason. That's the reason, right? The least amount of Spanish people, even better.
Oh, my God.
Where I can have more diversity and enjoy, that's where I want to go.
For me,
Okay.
diversity is very, very,
Because
very, very
because
important.
here in Galicia, they are very very close minded. Let's put it in like United States like terms. It's like you living in New York or Miami or Los Angeles, and then you move to Nashville, Tennessee. You move to Montgomery, Alabama. You move to Nebraska. You move to Arkansas. You move to Wyoming or Iowa or Indiana. All those like hillbilly places, those white people places where there's no diversity, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna be like, damn, where I step into the KKK. I mean, like,
Yeah,
and so like
man.
Galicia feels like that. Galicia feels like it's just all they're on the little sect, they're on the little group. They've grown up together all their life,
Yeah.
and whenever they see an outsider, they close themselves like this so the outsider can come in. You know how like the elephants protect their young ones, and they put their backs to the young one and they put their face forward and they don't let anybody get in. Galicians are like that. They'll protect that and they won't let you into the circle. And if you do end up getting into the circle, then you made it. But that's really rare. Might as well just go and play the lottery.
Wow. Damn, man. I think you would enjoy up there more if you weren't so closed off from the Spanish community as well. What about your wife? How does she? Because she could say, "I'm 50% Spanish." Do they let her in, or does she not? So she has Spanish friends.
No, she doesn't.
Okay. What do you do like socially? What do you do for like outside of work and your family and your kids? What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I spend time with my family, with my kids, watching them. Like they play football. Like tomorrow, they have a game tomorrow.
Okay.
They have the little one and the young one has a football game, so I'll go watch them play. And whenever we're together, we either go around here in town and do things around here, or spend time with family. We got nobody else. We got us.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And either play video games, stream on Twitch, to create content for YouTube or Instagram, or just enjoy life in general.
Don't
with
you
my
think
family.
you're missing out a bit not putting yourself out there? Cause
No, because because we've done it. I mean, like we see we've done it. We've gone out to like the fiestas de pueblo. We go to the fiestas. We go to the events, the cultural events, the stuff like that here. But then when we go to those events, we see all the Galician parents together with their kids together as a group, and we're left out, and we don't find out about these things until we're there. We're like, oh, so you guys got together? Oh yeah, because and then we find out from some other everybody else, you're not in the WhatsApp group. You're not in the group chat of all the parents.
Oh my God.
No.
Ooh.
So it's like, why am I going to socialize with some fake ass people?
Well, you can't give up, man. You can't give up because
So we out.
you can't give up. You can't like
Real people are there. Real people are
yeah.
there.
You just have to
You have
find
to
your
find
people, man.
them.
But you're
Yeah,
not gonna find your people if you're not out there.
Oh, I found my people, and they're my people, Hispanic people. That's what I
Bro,
found.
but you know that's one of the
There's
main
not-
thing. That's one of the main thing. Like for me, for my visa, I had to do an interview, Spanish integration. I don't know if you had to do that, right? As well.
No, I just did the test, and then I submitted the paperwork, and then we're good.
Okay, so I had to do an interview, and one of the main things they wanted to find out on the interview is how well I'm integrating with Spanish society. So, do I do activities with Spanish people? Do I do stuff outside of work, outside of my community, my immediate community? I think that's a big part of it because your kids are gonna grow up and all their friends are gonna be Spanish. And if they come home
Yeah.
and they see Papi and they say, Papi, you don't have a Spanish friend, they're going to emulate that because you are the man they look up to. You are the role model as well. Don't you think that will play a part in it as well?
See, this is what I tell my kids, and I mean, if people don't like this, people are not kind of like this, but I tell my kids, it's bad to say it like this, but I'm gonna say it because it's the truth. But
Always nothing but.
there is no such thing as friends in life. There's people that will be with you, people that are going to be there with you, but there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be there for you when you need them the most. The people that you can cry on, the people you can come over and say, the people that you don't even have to go to, they come to you and say, hey man, I was thinking about you today. How are you? You doing good? Yeah, man, I'm doing good. No, for real, like, you can talk to me. You doing good? No, man, I'm not doing good. All right, let's talk. You got time right now? Well, let's get together. Let's go get a coffee. Let's go talk. I'm here for you, man. That is a friend. But if somebody sends you a message, a meme, or like a video from a random WhatsApp group, that's not a friend. A person that says, hey, we're all going to get together and go have dinner. We're going to go out together and have, get together at this park and blah, blah, blah. That's just a get together. That's a fellowship. I can just go to the mall and get together with lots of people that I don't know and be okay with it. So I tell my kids, the only one people that are going to be there for you is you and your family. And even sometimes your family will fail you. Even sometimes your family will fail you. But you have to keep a really, really tight knit mentality of who you can choose to be called a friend and who can be called an acquaintance and somebody that I know. And here in Spain, it's really hard to find a friend, a true person that says, I accept you for who you are. I accept that you're not from here. I accept that you come here to make a name for yourself. I accept the fact that you are who you are. And I'm not going to try to change you into my mentality just because I grew up in this mentality. That is a true friend. And that is hard to find here in Spain.
Well said.
Hold on, let the applause.
Well said.
A true friend worth more than pocket kind.
Just about to say.
Yeah, a true friend is worth more than pocket kind. I think we can end there. Tonniel, you have a tune for this week?
Well, I have one song I've been listening to all week. The name of this song is Cuando Llora Mi Guitarra, like by Los Morochucos.
Okay.
It's a cumbia song.
All right.
You know that music like these old South American men would listen to, and they would all sing along with the guitar and the bass, or the cumbia, Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Bring it.
Cuando Llora Mi Guitarra.
All right, that's a banger for this week. Sway, do you have a song for the week?
Yeah, add a song to the playlist.
A song that I like to listen to.
Yeah, any song.
Man, I can't even think about. Oh yeah, there's one song I've been listening to.
Yeah.
All nonstop. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. We can end it here. Sway, thank you so much for joining. We'll definitely have you back on when we get some more questions and
nice
stuff. Man.
conversation.
I appreciate it. Trust me. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Tell the wife thank you for allowing this. Tell the kids thank you for giving us 2 hours of your time. We appreciate it so much.
All right,
And enjoy the weather up there in Galicia. All right.
Thank you guys. Peace.
That's it for the Yardman podcast. We out.
We're out.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. What types of you?